Flem, have you got me?
Yes, Jules.
There we go. Welcome. We're just going down memory lane. Who's your favourite West Indian cricketer of all time there, Flem?
That's a good question. Growing up in the Viv Richards and Andy Roberts and Michael Holding era, I'd probably go Sir Vivian, I reckon.
Yeah, pretty cool man, wasn't he, old Sir Viv? I think the last series against Pakistan, Flem, we're all pleasantly surprised at the cricket that Pakistan played, how really super competitive they were. Is there any chance we'll be pleasantly surprised about what this very inexperienced West Indies team can provide in these two test matches?
Yeah, I was very impressed with Pakistan, particularly their two stars, Babar Azam and Shaheen Afridi, not having massive series. So good signs for Pakistan going forward. West Indies, geez, I'm not so sure. The positive is my expectations are pretty low.
Yes.
I'm hoping, they unearth, and like we saw with Jamal from Pakistan, a couple of guys who probably only got opportunities because of injuries to some other players. But as we saw with Jamal, he just loved the opportunity, so passionate, very good all round skills. So I'm sort of hoping that, you know, even if Australia win this two test series comfortably, that we find two or three young up and coming West Indies stars that we can look forward to seeing in the future.
Yeah, we want to see some young stars emerge, absolutely. And Brian Lara made some interesting comments on a podcast saying he believes the talent is still there in the West Indies. It's just not harnessed like it was going back. What are we expecting from the deck over in Adelaide? Seems like the reports that it might be a little bit bouncier than we're used to seeing in Adelaide.
Yeah, that's not good signs for the West Indies because their home pitches are pretty slow and low, so their batsmen won't be used to facing 6'5", 140 km/h over the top fast bowlers like Hazelwood and Cummins, and Cam Green as well. No, I think Damien Hoff's one of the greatest curators in the world. His ability to make world-class decks for day-night cricket with that pink ball, and then be able to adjust for day test cricket with the red ball is outstanding. But yeah, he's been talking about that because it is a bit later. You got to remember, this is almost a traditional time for the Adelaide Test. When we were growing up, I played one, I think, against England on Australia Day. So, you know what it's like in Adelaide, it can be really hot. So I think you'll keep a little bit of extra grass on the pitch because he's expecting hot weather. So that'll bake the deck and make it harder and faster. But if there's extra green grass, that means that the red kookaburra will move a little bit more too. So it'll be a new ball pitch. So if the batsman can get through that first 15 to 20 overs, I think it'll be good for batting because you'll be able to play your shots. It won't be too paced. The ball will come through. And then for Nathan Lyon, he loves bowling the Adelaide Oval because of the extra pace. So, because it's in Adelaide under Damien Hoff, I reckon it'll be a beauty.
Yeah, always is in Adelaide, as you say. We're speaking to Damien Fleming, SEN Cricket expert, the SEN Test Cricket commentary team, back tomorrow for the first test between Australia and the West Indies. Okay, Flem, I reckon we've been talking about it for 2 years. Who's going to replace David Warner at the top of the order? We now know who it's going to be. Obviously, Steve Smith. What sort of, not just this series, but in the future series that he faces, opening the batting, what sort of tactics do you think teams are going to use to try and get him out early? Is he going to get a lot of short stuff? What sort of tactics are they going to come up with to try and make sure that Steve Smith isn't effective as an opener?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, they have bowled either wider or at his body in the last few years, and it has at least curtailed his strike rate and just his average to a degree. I mean, he's still averaging 40. We averaged 40 last year, so we're saying that's a disappointing output for Stephen Smith. But for most international test batsmen, they'd be happy to average 40 in all different conditions, what Smithy played last year. I reckon it's put a lot of interest into this series, Jules.
Yeah, I agree.
With Stephen Smith going up and getting Cam Green back into the team. And to a degree, they needed to get Greenie in. At 24 years of age in an older Test team, They need bankers going forward, the Australian selectors and coaching staff. So, if Smith works at opening, he will outlast Usman, who's been incredible since going up the top of the order. And he might be a bit of a role model for Stephen Smith because Usman sort of batted anywhere between 3 and 5 and then has looked more comfortable opening up. Simon Kadich and Shane Watson were middle order players. And talking to someone like Simon Kadich, he enjoyed, and Stephen Smith's already alluded to it, when you bat as an opening, don't you? And also these series, if Australia dominate with the bat, it'll be a test for Travis Head, Mitchell Marsh, Cam Green. If you're coming out in Australia just in a dominant position, it's a weird way to sort of play. You might be told to accelerate the run rate a bit because we're looking to declare. Whereas when you're opening, you can pretty much bat the way you want. You need to blunt that new ball. And I'll be looking to see if his strike rate goes up, Jules, because with the new ball, there's going to be more aggressive fields, 3 slips in a gully. So there'll be more options for Stephen Smith to hit through the field. And even though it's a different format, going up to open in the BBL last year really gave Stephen Smith some impetus to get himself back in that Australian T20 team, but to play shots, and he dominated. So, really looking forward to the changes, as in Smith opening and then Cam Green settling into that middle order.
Yeah, it's interesting what you say there about trying to accelerate the game for the Australian middle order if the top 3 are going really well. And that's what Cam Green said. He felt rushed at number 6 quite often, the stage of the innings that he was coming in. Can you sort of understand what he's saying there, and therefore do you think number 4 that should suit him when we should see the best of him with the bat in the next few years?
Yeah, Ken, I think Alex Carey's suffered because of that too. I remember a test match in Sydney a couple of years ago, and I'm thinking, they're going to declare now. And Alex Carey goes out, gets out second ball, and then they declare. And, when you look back at their averages, well, you sort of go, Alex Carey hasn't got a lot of runs, but really that was a nothing innings that shouldn't count. No doubt that internally they wouldn't rate that. But and we look at Cam Green. He debuted for Western Australia as a big fast bowler who was handy with the bat. And then when he got his stress fractures, he settled in at number 4 in Western Australia. He didn't bat 6. So I think technically he's fine for that position. All he needs is a good opportunity. I think at number 4 you're going to get that. I just think he's an unbelievable talent, Jules, just in those all 3 formats. Like his bowling, if it is fast and bouncy, he's going to be uncomfortable to face. And then he may end up our greatest gully fieldsman of all time, isn't it? Like his wingspan there is like having 2 fielders. He's got great hands. And then it allows, Mitchell Marsh is handy with the ball. When Cummins, wants something to happen, he's got the alternative of 2 very handy all-rounders to throw the ball just for a short, sharp spell. And even though they're right-handers, they bowl a little bit differently. So, no, I mean, it's put some real intrigue into this test match series. We go to New Zealand, who are very handy over there. So, you want to have a settled lineup by the time we get there.
Yep, I agree. I think you're right. It's added a lot of interest with Steve Smith going up to the top. Cam Green at number 4. I like your theory. Just undersell and over deliver, hopefully, with the West Indies, not the other way around, Flem.
Yeah, certainly so. And, I mean, Brathwaite and Chanderpaul opening up were really good last year for the West Indies, and then it sort of fell away. I mean, if they can continue to bat with that grit and at least blunt the new ball so that their middle order aren't facing fast, bouncy, swinging, seaming deliveries, that's going to help a lot. And then, just interested to see, can they get a couple of quicks? I think a young Joseph's got a fair bit of pace. Can he come through and you go, well, he's one they can build their attack around in years to come? Because you were reflecting on the great West Indies team. I sort of played against them right near the end of their domination, and playing over there, it was just scary. They were all into you. And, they love their cricket over there too. So, Brian Lara, I hope he's right, that the talent's right,
Yeah.
and they just need to get their pathways correct.
Yeah, it'd be great for the game. No doubt about that. Flem, safe travels. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to the action getting underway tomorrow on SEN Test Cricket.
Thanks, Jules. Have a good day.
You too. Damien Fleming, he'll be part of the commentary team tomorrow, Australia versus West Indies. Day 1 at Adelaide Oval. Let's get to the newsroom now.